Hello, everybody. Welcome to a way too late episode of the Missing Wolves postgame podcast live stream thing. I'm Andrew Dukowitz from Zone Coverage, who is just not going to sleep tonight. I've just accepted it. And thankfully, the Crunch Wears No Pants gentlemen were awake and driving home from the game. So we have guests tonight, Nate Alsturf and Brandon Beck. Nate, how's it going, man? We'll start with the tall member of Crunch Wears No Pants.
I am elated. They had to pull me down from the rafters of Target Center. I was levitating. I got to see just some incredible hoops. It was a blast start to finish. My Io DeSumo agenda is just blooming beautifully. And Jaden McDaniels continued to thrash a bad defense full of bad defenders. So just doing great.
Yeah, I mean, we'll get into the Jaden of it and the IO of it and all of it. Let's go with that. But Brandon, how's it going, man?
Yeah, I mean, like Durf said, it's hard to be too excited about this because they are all bad defenders. So like, what do you even really expect at this point? No, I'm never gonna die. I'm never gonna sleep. I'm on top of the world. And I have half a voice right now, if you can't tell.
I mean, we're all in that boat. I mean, you know who does have really good defenders? The Wolves, it turns out. They kind of talked about it all season of flipping the switch, bored of the regular season, ready for the playoffs, whatever interview and quote you want to take from Chris Finch or Ant. I mean, they held the Nuggets, the number one offensive rating in the league, to 11 points in the first quarter. I mean, talk about setting a tone, right, Brandon?
Yeah, dude. For Jaden McDaniels to say what he said after game 2 and then to go out and do what he did in game 3 is we talked about this before we started the live stream. Like, truly, like, if they go on to win this series, that's just going to be like the stuff of legend. Like, that is going to be a staple in Wolves lore of they're all bad defenders. A truly like unbelievable defensive performance from him and Rudy Gobert tonight on Murray and Jokic. Like, Murray was in absolute hell. Rudy, like, one-on-one kind of dominated Jokic in a way that we're just kind of not used to seeing. As good as Rudy is, like, that's the best offensive player in the world. And he looked confused. He took 10 threes because he didn't really know what else to do.
Yeah.
And they just like had him in hell.
He was a game worse minus 21. He had 4 turnovers and 7 of 26 for 27 points. I mean, that's like Rudy matched minutes with Jokic like that. I don't know if I've ever seen Jokic struggle like this for one game, let alone 3 games. I mean, Nate, I'll just throw it to you. Like, is this like, I don't want to say like legacy building stuff, but like if they close the Nuggets out in 5 and Rudy just does this to Jokic every game, I think that kind of changes Shaq's not going to be able to say anything anymore, I guess is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, it does feel like, you know, to us, it's not a surprise, but from a national media perspective and the stage that they're on, it's like one thing to have the Nuggets series a couple years ago where you can play the like, well, you know, Karl guarded some Jokic minutes and they were the number 1 defense for most of the season or for the season. Whatever. It's like a one series thing. But when you have like 3 years in a row of Rudy just on big stages showing his defensive ability is not going anywhere anytime soon, it's kind of undeniable. And this happening again with Jokic this year and just looking completely lost out there and just like sad, like he looks like he's in his head. Like it's crazy.
But this is like different. Like, before it was like they had him kind of flummoxed and he got the best of them in some of those games in that series 2 years ago. But they had him flummoxed, like
brother, I have 39 game too.
Yeah, but like it was like the scheme that was kind of making life hard on him. And granted, like, I'm sure the scheme is playing into this as well. Like they're throwing some doubles at him in different times, but a lot of this is just Rudy Gobert like manning up and taking the assignment and just kind of bottling him up and forcing him into like, he's going to hit some of those mid-range jumpers. He's going to hit some of those floaters, but forcing that floater, like not letting him get to 5 feet and keeping him at 8 feet. So the floater is like 10% harder. And just like really like physically dominating him in a way that I'm just not used to seeing from him.
I don't think I don't think anyone's played Jokic this good for 3 straight. Like Jokic figures this stuff out. I think that's where like we're going to get into it more on like the Wolves defensive side or the Nuggets defensive side of their problems. But like Jokic legitimately looks like frustrated, confused. He's like after every possession, like looking for refs to help him. I've never seen him this off, and it is literally just Rudy Gobert. Like
you could tell
he's just
like
straight up guarding him.
You could tell like halfway through the third quarter when he was like kind of out of ideas and he started really going into like the flailing flopping bag because he was just kind of out of stuff. And I want to make it very clear, I am not burying the Nuggets. I'm certainly not burying Nikola Jokic. Like he's going to have a game that's going to make you like miserable to watch as the opposing team in this series because he is the best player in the world. But like you said, for 3 games, this has been as good as Rudy can possibly do.
Yeah.
I mean,
truly, it's a 3-time he'll probably finish his career with maybe 4 or 5 MVPs, and Rudy's just for an entire series so far locked him up. I mean, you're right. He's probably going to have one of those games before this series is out. Like, I don't think the Wolves are going to win in 5. I do feel pretty good about my Wolves in 7 prediction, but like, it's just hard to try and figure out what they change offensively to make this better. Like, unless they're going to start running like Jokic ball screens, as Pack Mentality said, to get Rudy off of him. I don't know how you solve this problem. Like Jokic is not going to be like whipping around off ball screens like Curry, right, Nate?
I mean, we don't know. We don't know for sure. I can't doubt Jokic on all accounts, but yeah, I mean, then what? We just have defensive stalwart Julius Randle switch onto him. What are you going to do then? There's no winning. But yeah, we were talking about this a little bit before, but like Beck and I were how like this whole snub defensive player of the year thing couldn't come at a better time. And obviously like this is when it would come. It's the end of the season, whatever.
Yeah.
But like a lot of those awards for other guys on the team, like it's kind of just like a narrative where you're like, yeah, this is going to add fuel to the fire. But with Rudy Gobert, like that stuff actually matters. Like that is so important to him. And it's such a driving factor for him. And like, obviously the challenge of guarding Jokic and the Nuggets and whatever is going to be it's the playoffs. So obviously he's going to try really hard, but that is absolutely throwing gasoline on the fire for him. And you could see it in the comments he was making before the series. Like he means business and he's standing on business, and it's truly like I'm at a loss for words. Rudy Gobert is insane.
Yeah, I kind of am too. Like I thought like for sure, okay, this is going to be a weird series. Like Jokic probably goes off and they just let him do Jokic stuff and you live with it because, you know, Aaron Gordon's a good 3-point shooter now, or like a fine corner 3-point shooter, I should say. But like for Rudy, just kind of body him. I mean, Steve Hartman adds only 3 assists for Jokic too, which that's insane. Like this is a walking triple double.
But like you saying, like they're going to let Jokic go off, that is what they're doing.
Yeah.
It's just he's not going off because Rudy Gobert is just on this like other planet defensively right now. Like they're not like they're not sending doubles. Like they're not allowing him to get going in other ways, but he's also not getting 40 because Rudy is playing so well.
Yeah, it's somehow the best of both worlds, which you don't see against a guy like Jokic.
Which is again like I kind of in my head as this game was closing down, it just reminded me a lot of the Lakers series where it's just like, I don't know what they do. Like they don't have good enough defense to stop this team. They don't have enough offensive options to like outscore this team and beat them 140-130. So like, I don't know what that's kind of how I feel with the Nuggets at this point of like, I don't know how they win 3 more out of the next 4 games. Like I don't. But that being said, it's like Jokic just has to eventually play better, you'd think. But at the same time, Gobert's just awesome. Which, going back to that Lakers series, like there was a handful of games or 3 games in that series where Gobert played under 30 minutes because he just couldn't stay on the floor. I don't know. The Gobert arc could be crazy if this continues.
Yeah, I mean, this is like probably the best 3-game postseason run for Rudy Gobert, like maybe ever. Like, I don't think he had, certainly in a Wolves uniform, it is.
Yeah.
And like to your thing about like, I don't know what Denver's answers are. Like, I agree that like if Aaron Gordon is out for the rest of this series, or even like if his calf is bad enough that he's not playing in a pivotal game 3, even if he plays, he's not going to be operating at anything close to 100%. I want to have like a healthy respect for our opponent because this is like one of the best offenses in NBA history. So like, what do they do is like maybe Nikola Jokic, best offensive player in the world, maybe best offensive player ever, does it 3 times and is just like unbeatable. Like that can still happen, but it's impossible to argue that the Wolves aren't in like a crazy better position through 3 games than I think anyone could have imagined they would have been going into this series. Like I kept saying on our show, I thought they could win and I didn't think they were going to win. Like, I think now, I'm guessing tomorrow, the betting lines are going to be favoring the Wolves in this series.
I would imagine quite a bit. I mean, let's talk more about like Denver adjustments, because you're right. Like the easiest adjustment is just Nikola Jokic plays like Jokic and scores 50 the next game. Like, Nate, I'll throw it your way though. Like, what can they do? Like, Jaden has single-handedly kind of ruined the Murray Jokic pick and roll. Rudy, we talked about enough. Like, Murray is just, he's settling for 2s almost every possession, and pretty much everyone else on the team has been a non-factor on offense. Like, I guess like if you're in Denver's shoes, like what do you do?
I mean, it's beyond me. I truly think it's like you just got to lean on your 2 guys. Like you got to lean on Jamal and Jokic and see what you can do. Like it's like the Aaron Gordon of it all is such a huge swing for me. Like I know that even going into the series, he wasn't healthy. He's had the hamstring all season and has only played like 33 games this year pre-playoffs. But like just thinking back to two years ago in that series and how like as Wolves fans going into the series, we're like, well, you know, last time we had Jamal or we had Jaden and Nikhil, so we could kind of bracket Jamal or like, you know, have those guys harass him, and then you have Kat and Rudy to solve the Jokic problem, and then Aaron Gordon. Then you know the adjustment was like have him bring up the ball so you have some favorable matchups there, initiating offense. But if you don't have him there, it's like it almost becomes, I mean, it limits your just gameplay in general, but you're just kind of like a math problem at that point. Like, where do you make up the points? Where do you make up? Like, I'm not trying to talk down about our opponent because you're right. Like, they are very talented and Jokic is the best player in the world. He could just go off, but just the rest of the supporting cast does not impress me that much. And I could eat my words, but like, I don't know. I don't know how you solve this. Like, pray, call God. Like,
I think that's where I'm at. Like, I'm kind of at a loss. I mean, that kind of like you said, the best players need to play better. That's probably the easy answer, but like more Cam Johnson isn't going to help this series. Like more Zeke Naji isn't going to help this series.
Zeke Naji was pretty good tonight. He was like, if I was Denver and I was like looking for a silver lining, I might be like, wow, we got some good Zeke Naji minutes.
He was the only Denver Nugget in the positive plus minus at +2.
I will also say, like, if we're looking for positive nuggets of hope for Denver in this series, which I don't know why we would be doing that. This is a Timberwolves podcast, but there is like a 10% like Peyton Watson chance like looming out there where like we don't really know the status of him. Like there's the Adam Mares quote from before the series of he doesn't expect him to play, but he's been listed as questionable on their injury reports, and they're talking about him like he's a potential option. So, soft tissue injuries, just like with Aaron Gordon, that stuff is finicky and hard to predict. They're just further removed from the Peyton Watson injury. And that is like a swing factor. Like that's a guy who, when Jokic was out, was like carrying their offense. Yeah. And, they're all bad defenders. Like Peyton Watson is their best rim protector and would probably spend a lot of time guarding Ant. Like if they did get a healthy version, if they can steal this next game at home and make it 2-2, and then all of a sudden, like game 5 or 6, Peyton Watson's coming back. Like I think that is a boon in favor of Denver. But as it stands right now, I still think we have to operate under the assumption that he's not coming back. And if he is, it's probably not going to be at 100%.
Yeah. I mean, again, it just kind of goes to show how dire it is when we're sitting here going like Peyton Watson might help, which, yeah, I mean, tough. I do want to throw us over to a quick ad read here. When we come back, I want to talk more about the Nuggets defense, because I looked up a couple stats today that I want to at least get your guys' thoughts on, because some of them are like jarringly bad. But first, ads. Well, hello. Thank you, Livestream Andrew. This is Ad Read Andrew. And today we have Firehawk Construction and Remodeling, the presenting sponsor for the Missing Links podcast. Firehawk Construction and Remodeling strives to inspire people to follow their ideas, working with respect and understanding to create a quality, tailored result. Firehawk Construction and Remodeling, located in Blaine and serving in the North Metro area, is here to help you with your building and remodeling needs. I can say personally, thanks to Firehawk Construction and Remodeling, I have a beautiful deck in my backyard, and countless projects that I started, they finished. Get started on your new deck or remodel today by calling Isaac at 763-710-5686. And we're back with another ad read, this time for Pence Homes, the presenting sponsor of Hitting the Hardwood Network. From the best tools and technology to transparency throughout the entire process, Nate Pence and the Pence Homes team is the top choice for buyers, sellers, and is proud to support you and your home ownership goals. Get started today by calling 612-308-1122 or by emailing info@pencehomes.com. Real quick before we get into the Nuggets defense, John mentions what is most infuriating is that the Wolves could have played this way throughout the season. Yes, that is absolutely what's the most infuriating. No notes. See ads onto that. Even Randall is committing to team defense. The team doesn't look like the regular season team. All season they said they had a switch. So I guess they were right. They told us. So next year, I guess I won't doubt them at all, because
next year when they lose to like the Wizards on opening night or something.
Yeah. Just wait till the playoffs.
Just going to be sitting there like 7 seed, 10 seed. It doesn't matter. Like they're just going to figure.
No games count until the playoffs. We know that.
Exactly. So I looked this up earlier today, and the NBA's average for team defensive rating, like if you are playing defense, you have logged minutes in the NBA, the average for the defensive rating stat for any player is 114.1. How many players out of Denver's top 10 do you think had a defensive rating above average, so below 114.1? Either of you can answer.
I mean, I would guess it's 0, because they were like really, really bad defensively this season. Like I think they were like 23rd or something overall defensively. Yeah. And so like the starters who play a lot of minutes, like, I don't know, maybe like Spencer Jones was above average defensively.
I'll say 1, just
Watson, maybe.
It was only Aaron Gordon And to your guys' point, he missed half the season.
Yeah, he played 30 games.
It's hard. I was like, I guess I didn't even think about that because
rating wasn't like good. It was 112.7.
Yeah, so
like,
hard, just barely above average.
Yeah, and I was like,
Jaden
I was kind of bucketing him with the starters.
Was not wrong.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's. I mean, it is truly a horrific defense. It is a perfectly balanced, insanely good offense, insanely horrible defense, perfectly balanced.
What were you gonna say, Beck? I interrupted you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was just gonna say like it's just like it's the hard part with Jokic, right? It's the rim protection thing is just a huge issue for them, which is why I think, like I said, Peyton Watson could potentially have some positive impact for them. But the kind of like devil's deal that Jokic does is he isn't a good rim protector, but he like actively avoids being a rim protector as well because he is so important to their offense that he's just like, I cannot risk committing fouls, like being an aggressive drop coverage center, like protecting the rim, because we're cooked if I foul out of this game. So not only is he like naturally not good at it, but he's like actively getting out of the way sometimes because he's like, they can't call a foul on me if I'm like way over here.
I mean, there was a couple plays tonight. Like, I think one of them was like a Jaden dunk and another one was like an Io kind of like floater thing where like, to your point, Beck, like he literally like walked to the other side of the paint. Like, nope, I want no part of this, which like,
and it's like kind of hard to argue with. Like,
yeah. Because I think you'd like to see like, oh, he should. It's a different level of defensive like ineptitude than like when Wolves fans are frustrated with Randall. It's because he's just like zoning out off ball and gets back cut. Like the Jokic defensive frustration is kind of to the same point as their offense. Like I don't know how you fix that. Like sure, Aaron Gordon being out certainly doesn't help, but like Aaron Gordon was also getting cooked in the first game and a half of this series. Like it's kind of just getting to the point with this Nuggets team where like, again, I don't want to disparage them and be like all is lost because it would be very Wolves-ish to go up 3-1 and then be the first team like ever to lose a 3-1 series or whatever that stat is. But at the same time,
not
it's
quite. LeBron won 3-1, came back from down.
How many? It's been like 3 or something like that. Like it's super rare.
LeBron was the first
seem
one.
Like a Wolves thing. But at the same time, it's just like defensively, I don't know what they do. Like if Jaden's just good on offense, it screws everything up for this team because you can't hide Jamal Murray on him then.
And Jaden hadn't been good on offense prior to this game in the series, but man, he was everything tonight.
It's so badass that he did that after the comments that he made. And it's like for like us as Wolves fans, we're like, okay, well, we know what we have in Jaden, one defensively because he's made his impact all series long. But from the offensive side of things, it's like we all know that Jaden can score at will when he just decides that he wants to do that. And he remembers that he has 7.5 foot long wingspan. Like the dude can score anywhere on the and I mean that's obviously he knew going into this game, like I gotta stand on it. If I'm gonna say that, I'm gonna do it. Like
but like and especially against a team that has no rim protection, because that's the thing we always talk about with Jaden is like sometimes he just like remembers how tall he is. And so it's like he can just kind of get to 5 feet away from the hoop. And then he's just so much taller than everybody else that he can just kind of like throw his little like jumper floater thing up there. That is especially effective against a team that has nobody that's going to be able to contest that even from like a help side thing. It's like not just him beating his man. It's like nobody's going to block him. So he can just get to the rim and finish because he's bigger than everybody on Denver.
Or even if they do, he's just going to dunk it because he's so long that you're like, he can't possibly dunk it from this distance. And then he does because he's so freaking long.
I mean, Brandon, I reference your quote about Jaden pretty often. Like it was one of the earlier times you came on the pod this season and you said, I just wish Jaden McDaniels would believe in himself.
Exactly.
Like, it's starting to seem like Jaden's like having that Matrix thing where it's like he's starting to believe.
Yeah.
And I mean, if this is just like Jaden the rest of the playoffs, the sky's the limit for this team if Jaden's a 20-point a night scorer, right, Nate?
Sorry, I was reading the chat. What did you say?
Jaden 20 points per game, championship inbound.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, like we like just do it. Just score 20 points a game, Jaden. You can do it. Yeah, we saw that earlier in the year when Ant was not playing for spurts or whatever. And it's just like he's just the guy. Like defensively, he's always going to be there, but offense, he's always just going to do what's required of him. And like he's so not me first when it comes to his play style. Like he is not like I need my 15 points. I need my whatever. Like he just fills in where he's needed. And sometimes to a fault. Sometimes there are games where it's like we could have actually used a little bit more from you. Or like sorry, I shouldn't say that. You should be more selfish sometimes.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I mean, I don't know. When we're missing guys, he always is the one to step up, it feels. And so yeah, I mean, unlock him in the playoffs, average 20 for the rest of be the postseason MVP for us. Do it.
I mean, it like I was I'm getting ahead of myself here, and I realize that, but you look at San Antonio, they're kind of struggling with Portland right now. Wemby's concussed and don't know when he's going to be back. I mean, if they can take care of the Nuggets in 5 or 6 games, and now you're getting a weird San Antonio team where concussions are weird. You don't know what's going to happen with it, Wemby. I mean, there is a path now, right? I'm not just insane.
I mean, maybe you get Portland.
Which even better, like this team.
But also the Wolves fan in me is horrified of seeing Portland. Like, there's something about being like, okay, we go and beat Denver, and then oh god, we see Portland. Like they gave us fits at the beginning of the season. But no, I mean, Beck and I were talking about this too. Like Beck said, everybody outside of the Wolves and Lakers are having like a horrible time in the playoffs. Like the favorite teams are,
I guess, but the Thunder lost Jalen Williams even.
Yeah. So like we'll see the impact if there is impact, which there should be. And like LeBron became 2016 LeBron suddenly again. But yeah, I mean, there's absolutely a path. Like, and I mean, if you want to go further, like the East is kind of a mess right now. To like, we'll see what evens out across a series for Detroit, but like Detroit for 6 quarters hasn't been very impressive.
Yeah, but for those last quarter yesterday, that was really something.
That was hell of a third quarter. I don't know.
It's just, first off, Ren, no apologies for being late. It's 1 a.m. That is obnoxious that anyone's in here at 1 a.m. But yeah, everyone on ESPN had Nuggets. I think it was 10-0 Nuggets favored, like on the ESPN panel. I think the Jalen Williams point is really good because the Wolves, I think, match up a lot better against the Thunder when they don't have J-Dub. Eastern Conference is not
when Julius Randle cooked them. That was the game they didn't have J-Dub.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean,
the only game Julius Randle's ever played well against them.
If a Minnesota team is to win a championship, like this does seem like the path that they would choose is playing arguably the 4 best teams in the league on their path to it.
And we were talking about how just on the drive home, we were talking about just how hilarious it would be if this was the team that did it, because everyone hates this team.
So I like on record for like several of our podcasts in a row, I've been saying like, I don't know why, but it just feels like this would be the year for us to win because of how mad everyone has been at the team. Like this is the season culmination of like losing to the Wizards and then going out and beating OKC by 20 points. Like that's the type of team we are in a microcosm. And if you extrapolate that across the postseason, like that's kind of the team. I don't know. It just feels like everybody's like, oh, I hate, like there's been so much hate about Julius Randle or even Finch or all these guys that are like, just get it over with. I want to start over, I want to make I want to see the version of this team that we're gonna be for years going forward. And it's like it would be very Wolves to just go out and win it with that sort of pieced together team that is the interim version that people think. So I don't know. I mean, that's my take. We're doing it.
Seeing Julius Randle raise a championship in a parade after this season would be incredible.
It would be so funny. It would be so funny.
It would be so funny. Yeah. Like all of the hate he's gotten for 5 months now. It would be hilarious. Couple more things just before we get out. Ant, foul trouble today. I thought he looked a lot more like game 1 Ant than game 2 Ant, or just you could tell he was not comfortable. Where are your guys' kind of level of concern if Ant is, I mean, again, he put together like a good stat line, 17 points on 15 shots, 3 assists, 5 rebounds, but like where are you guys sitting at with like Ant concern?
I mean, I think this is just kind of like what Ant is going to be, unless they wrap up a series nice and early and give him some time to rest. But I think it's going to be kind of inconsistent on a night to night basis as far as like how he is feeling. But like, I think also today he didn't really have a great opportunity to like work his way into the game, which is kind of what he did in game 2, where he was kind of feeling it out early and then like got comfortable, I think, on that verse. Well, I think the foul trouble disrupted him a lot today, but overall, like my concern level is the same that it was going into the playoffs. It's not that I think Ant is going to get hurt and miss games. It's that I just think he's probably operating most of the time at like 80%. And you know, what do they need to win this series / what do they need to make an actual deep playoff run? I think they need something closer to 100% of Ant. And they've gotten that for like half of one game so far through 3 games. And fortunately, they're in a good position despite that.
Yeah, I have to look up his name because it's 1 a.m. and that's what happens to my memory at 1 a.m. But I had Lucas Seehofer on the podcast for the last episode. He's a doctor in kinesiology, also a physical therapist, and we were just talking knees, and he kind of confirmed a lot of like the speculation that's out there of just like it hurts a lot. It's not going to get better until Ant can't run on it for a month or 2. And like he's not going to make it worse other than the pain's going to get worse. So it does kind of seem like it's just like this just might be like a gut check playoff series or playoff like path for Ant where he's just in an incredible amount of pain, which I don't know, Nate, like how do you feel about it?
Pills and injections, baby. This is his flu game, but it's a calf playoff run. I don't know why you guys are worried about Ant. We got Ayo Dosunmu, baby. You can't. The jersey is covered.
There we go. I was like, you're holding up a Jaden jersey, but you mentioned Ayo. What's happening?
No, I mean, Ayo's been excellent, and there is sort of that trade-off where he fills in nicely in the Ant role when he's not able to be on the court. He's just a good scorer and can kind of take over when needed. He's shown that a few times since we acquired him, but not about Ayo. I would echo a lot of what you guys are saying. Like the concern is less about the like injuring further and more about just being able to gut out the pain for however long this goes. And he's still got youth on his side and they have plenty of medication, I hope, access to. So we'll just see how far that gets us. But yeah, I mean, it would be really nice if we can continue to have games like tonight where him playing 24 minutes is enough. And obviously part of that is just foul trouble and availability there. But if we could just have some blowout victories for a little while so he can get a little bit of rest, I'd be fine with it, honestly.
I mean, we're today, like just hold him to 11 points again on Saturday.
Yep.
Let's talk a little IO before we get out of here, because John mentions it in the chat. IO is exactly what we needed. Sia's a little more negative, I would say, saying that IO may have outplayed his birds rights and will test the market. And I would assume the next sentence is leave like everybody does, because that's how we think in Minnesota. But I mean, career playoff high, 25 points plus 11 on the night, 10 of 15 shooting, 9 assists off the bench. Like,
yep.
I'm going to be honest. I was so wrong about IO when he got traded here. I was like, he's just going to be better Mike Conley and sit in the corner and just play better defense. Couldn't have been more wrong, which Nate, you've been on the IO fan club since he got here.
Yeah.
Did they just like trade Rob Dillingham for their point guard?
We were just talking about that. Like, this is like the meme that people always do, like the spaghetti for the iMac. Like, we gave Rob Dillingham and Leonard Miller, rest in peace, Leonard. We miss you deeply. It doesn't seem fair that was allowed. It doesn't seem like that, but I do think there's the element of like, the doubt that you have is probably the doubt that, maybe a lot of people had of IO, which is like, okay, well, he's playing on a bad Bulls team, and maybe it's like, will this translate to a winning team? Is there going to be a learning curve, whatever? But he's just a very like good at all aspects of the game. Like, he is efficient. He moves well. He pushes the pace. He makes good passes. It's all around good basketball. And he really had like a 1 or 2 game, catching up to the team when we first acquired him. And then he was just good. I think when I was on the pod last time, we talked about IO and just the longevity of that. And there's some loyalty there that you hope translate to being like, hey, the guy never left Illinois until now for his whole, life, basically. Cause he is a loyal guy. And I think I'm hoping that like,
they're going to re-sign him. They're going to give him they're going to give him.
I know. But like,
this is the thing. This is the same thing that I said all last year with Nas, when people were nervous that Nas was going to leave in free agency.
Right.
I don't think it's a matter of like him giving them a hometown discount. I think it's a matter of they are going to pay him the most. And like, it sucks from a salary cap perspective that IO might be playing his way into a bigger salary than we maybe planned for when we traded for him. But like, they're not going to get outbid for Ayo Dosunmu. Like, they're going to pay what it takes to keep Ayo Dosunmu, because that's just kind of like what
that was an investment. That wasn't like hey, this is our shot at the just for the playoffs for the end of the year, whatever, expiring contract.
And so like, I understand the sentiment. Like, it's a balance, just right, because we like these guys and like we want them all to make as much money as possible because they deserve it. But from a salary cap perspective, like, you like to have guys on bargain contracts and things like that. I think there's a decent chance that like a good playoff run rules out like a significant bargain contract for Ayo Dosunmu. And maybe he is like a guy that's like, I just want enough money, and to like, that stuff's all possible. But if Ayo Dosunmu wants a lot of money, the Timberwolves are going to give him a lot of money, and he's going to be on the team next year. Like, I would be shocked if they, unless they did some sort of like sign and trade scenario where it played into another thing. But like, I just don't think they're going to outright lose him in free agency.
I don't think so either. Like, just like, I think some people in like the media space, like players say things and you can kind of read through it of like, oh, that's probably BS. Like, do they actually really like living here? Do they actually really like their role? Like, Ayo, almost every single press conference talks about how much it sucked that he made the playoffs his first year and hasn't been back, and then immediately goes into talking about how blessed he is that he got traded here. Like, that doesn't sound like a dude that's going to leave for like $500,000 extra dollars to go play for Brooklyn. You know what I mean? Like, I just,
and if that's the difference, the Wolves are going to give him $500,000 extra dollars.
So like, I don't think he's going to be getting like the Christian Brown, like 5 for 125 deal, but is he like a $20 million player now? Probably. And honestly, like, if you think that highly of him to trade like the number 8 overall pick, Leonard Miller, in a couple seconds, like you probably should pay him $20 million anyways. Like, that's,
I mean, he really, to me, looks like a core piece of what they're building towards. Like,
absolutely.
He's still pretty young. He's 26, right?
Yep.
So, I mean, like great core to build around.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you got Ant, Io, Jaden, and Nas as the next timeline,
yeah,
like I think you're feeling really good with that right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then like just circling back to what you were saying, Durf, about him being like just kind of a complete basketball player, I think that is, aside from the fact that he's just really good, I think that is kind of like the secret key to why he has fit in so well with the Wolves, is because the Wolves don't have a lot of guys who are kind of good at a lot of things. Like they have a lot of guys who are really good at some things and really bad at other things.
Like, I would argue it's only Io and Dante.
And Jaden, I think
Jaden
is it too, but like Rudy Gobert, like phenomenal, amazing defensive player, massively problematic offensive player. Bones Highland, fantastic offensive player, massively problematic defensive player. Julius
also Naz Reid.
Like, you know, and when he wants to, like, and when he has like the full gas tank in a playoff setting, he can turn himself up and be kind of that both way player. But he's really just an offense, offense, no defense player in the regular season. Like they have a lot of those guys, and so I think that's part of what makes them so weird in the regular season, as far as like they can never assemble any lineups that are good at offense and defense because they don't have any players that are good at offense and defense. And so having more guys like Io to kind of like fill in the gaps of lineups and not be like drastically taking away from half of the game is like a huge deal to just like make things a little bit easier and get them kind of like closer to the middle sometimes of their talent level and not like exist on these extremes that they have for so long.
Yeah.
It's just, again, like it's just, this team would just be the perfect team to win a championship. Like even as you're saying that, I'm like, yeah, this just checks out. Like this should be the team. Yeah. Last thing I just want to highlight before we get out of here is just the Wolves trades with Chicago have gone about as bad as possible. Like the Mike Conley trade, they ended up getting Jaden Ivey from the Pistons, essentially with Mike Conley, who they then flipped. Jaden Ivey no longer in the league. That's
did
tough.
Something happen?
Yeah,
I didn't hear anything.
He called one too many people a fornicator.
And then you look at the Io trade, and they traded a 32-minute playoff guy for Rob Dillingham, who is a very, to steal your word, problematic NBA player on the court. And then Leonard Miller, who's like fun, but like
a double machine down the stretch.
I gotta see Leonard Miller play in something that doesn't look so much like the G League before I'm convinced of anything.
So it's just like, man, 2 trades with Chicago, and Chicago definitively lost both of them.
Here's the deal.
We got their GM fired.
If you want to have a long and successful career as a GM in the National Basketball Association, you just got to make trades with the Chicago Bulls and Sacramento Kings, because those teams absolutely love losing trades.
I mean, honestly, though, like team has to be watching this game tonight and just be like, what are we doing? And like, what happened?
Those Chicago trades, like they didn't work out well, obviously, but even at the time, it made no sense. It was like, what are you guys building towards? I understand that you're not in a win now mode, whatever, but like it was like, you guys have 14 guards on this team. Like your tallest guy is a power forward. Like what are we doing here?
Who is the 12th guy on the Wolves?
Yeah, exactly.
Like
Like
Leonard Miller is their
12th
tall
guy on the
player.
Wolves. He was like the 15th guy on the Wolves. Leonard Miller.
I would
How
like to
Leonard
have
Miller
a little
lasted.
more respect for Leonard Miller than saying Enrique Freeman and Rocco
No.
Zikarsky. We're ahead
No,
of
because
him.
those guys are the two-way guys. The regular roster is 15 guys. It was like the rotation. Like
yeah,
he
right,
was
right,
behind
yes.
Joe Ingles. Joe Ingles played in that Cavs
you're
game.
right. Joe Ingles would play before him.
No, Leonard Miller was on the team for 3 years and never played a real minute.
Correct.
What?
I-
No, there
correct.
was one. There
He
was
didn't go
one
into that
time.
Spurs game.
Yeah, I was gonna say where we were. I was at that game and I was like,
No,
wait, what?
that was in San Antonio. We were at Treasure Island.
You're right. We were. That was the
And
Dame pod.
He went in and we were all like,
pod.
"Is that Leonard Miller?"
We're like, are they just trying shit right now? Like, is this just like?
It did not go well.
Yeah.
And that is who Chicago got for a 32-minute playoff guy.
They saw that 1 minute and they were like, we gotta get him, whatever it takes.
We got to get him in the door. We'll even take Rob Dillingham's salary to get that guy in the door. All right, guys. I appreciate you coming on. Nate, Brandon, where can people find you? You have a lovely podcast, I hear, that is full of tomfoolery. Floor is yours, guys.
We just released we have released our immediate post-game reaction podcast. We recorded a 1-minute episode in the concourse when we ran into Jordan on our way out.
A voice memo. Yeah.
But yeah, you can find us at No Pants Crunch on Twitter and Blue Sky and Instagram. Our podcast, Crunch Wears No Pants, is on all platforms. Spotify, Apple Podcast. You can find me at Brandon Beck 4 on all those platforms, and I'll let Durf speak for himself.
I'm at Tallsdurf, TALLSDURF. And yeah, we post a lot of memes and it's a good time. Follow
The
us or don't.
originators of the Julius Randle trombone Goosebumps nickname. Like, we'll live on for history.
Goosebumps, the Bone Zone, Nas Reed games, those are all Crunch Wears No Pants originals.
Yeah. The hits.
Such
You
a
can buy some shirts on jakescrafts.com, actually.
Oh yeah, go buy some Nas Reed game and Goosebumps merch from jakescrafts.com.
Or don't. It's your money.
These guys are
what you
plugging their sponsors on my podcast. This is incredible.
Unofficial. Jake is an unofficial
Jake isn't a sponsor. Jake is a friend.
Yeah.
We
didn't plug lamb chops. If we plugged lamb chops, that would be problematic.
You just plugged lamb chops.
No, I said we
Jordan's
didn't plug
awesome.
them. Yeah, go buy their stuff too. It's very good.
Yeah, like just really
An
comfy.
unpaid ad.
Go support Jordan Dye. He's a delightful man, and to get a Timberwolf shaved into the back of your head takes some what did Ant call them? Gorilla nuts. Take some gorilla nuts.
Yeah, we went to college with Jordan. He rocks.
He does.
He's just a nice guy. For anyone that joined into this late, does get posted up on YouTube and X as soon as I end stream. If you want to listen to it later on this morning, because it's 1:24 a.m., it will get posted anywhere you get your streaming podcasts at 7 a.m. And we'll be back a little bit earlier after hopefully a 3-1 lead after Saturday's game. 3-1 lead.
We'll see.
That'd be fun. All right. Appreciate everyone for listening.